As a little girl, I used to fantasize about what my life would look like when I became an adult. I would lay in my bed and I would write entry one, Dear Diary. When I grow up, I want to get married. I want to have two kids, a boy and a girl. I want to live in a beautiful home and I want a dog. And this was my dream. Hi, my name is Katina Jenkins, and there is more to this story. So, my childhood dream came true. I got married, I lived in a beautiful home, and soon I had a beautiful baby boy. And we named him Glenn after his father. And Glenn was the sweetest little baby. He had a hearty appetite, he giggled nonstop, and loved splashing around in water. But as time went on, I began to notice some differences with Glenn. I would look into his eyes and he would look back at me, but with a blank expression, almost as if he was looking right through me. As you can imagine, this was difficult to see, and it would oftentimes bring me to tears. And I remember one day I was crying and he touched my face and he said, Water? Face? And it hit me that he didn't understand why my face was wet. And then when nap time or bedtime came, I would start rocking him to sleep and I would rock and he would cry and cry. And my rocking became stronger and stronger. And soon he was fast asleep. And I would watch him and listen to the whispers in my head. And the whispers were getting louder and louder. And they were saying, something ain't right. Something is not right. And as a mother, you know when something is not right with your child. Glenn was born at 25 weeks and stayed in the neonatal intensive care unit for 98 days. So Big Glenn and I, we had an idea that we would face some challenges, but we were not prepared for what was to come. One trip to the doctor was all it took, and we received the diagnosis, autism spectrum disorder. That news hit us like a ton of bricks. This was not part of the dream that I had as a little girl. All I remember is the doctor was talking, but everything that she was saying wasn't lining up with what we were hearing. It was really difficult to hear. And who would have known that to this day, 16 years later, we would still be on this continuous journey learning about the mystery of autism. This thing called life has a way of testing us. And after 12 years of marriage, Big Glenn and I, we made the decision to divorce. Despite this, we found a rhythm as co-parents and we were really, really good at it. And then one day I received a phone call from his best friend and I was in a work meeting. So I saw the call come up. I declined it, stayed in my meeting. And then seconds later, he called me right back. So I turned the camera off on my laptop, made sure my microphone was muted, and I said, hey, what's up? And he said, hey, T, have you talked to Glenn? And I said, yeah, I was at his house earlier this week. I picked up little Glenn. Why? Well, someone went to the barbershop today for an appointment, and they learned that he hadn't been there in a couple of days, and they're doing a wellness check right now. Wait, hold on 1 second. This is them on the other line. He clicks over, I panic. Why? Because Big Glenn had an impeccable work ethic. He never missed work. So my heart rate started to just shoot through the roof. My palms started to get sweaty. And then he came back on the other line. And he said, Tina, I hate to tell you this, especially on the phone, but they did the wellness check. They found Big Glenn unresponsive, and the police need you to come right away. The only thing that I remember was pulling up in his driveway. the block was quiet. And I got out the car, and a very compassionate police officer comes over to me, and he tells me that Big Glenn had passed away, and he gave me his condolences. And I shut down. I was overwhelmed with grief and anxiety because I'm trying to think, how am I going to explain this to my son who has a developmental disability that he is never going to see his father again? How am I going to do that? He adored his father. Who was going to help me? My son was going to, he was a boy, and then he's going to turn into a young man, and then he's going to turn into a man. Who's going to help me raise him? How am I going to do this by myself? I had so many questions, and it really took me to a dark place, actually. I was broken. I didn't know what to do. But my family did. My family stepped in, and they assembled like some superheroes. They helped me with pickups, drop-offs, overnight stays, and all of the support that they gave me a new sense of normalcy again. But I came to the sobering realization that I couldn't rely on them so heavily forever. I mean, they were fantastic, but they had their own lives and their own responsibilities, and they couldn't shoulder my responsibility permanently. So feeling that I was back at square one, I had a conversation with my mentor, and I was like, hey, I really don't know what to do here. What suggestions do you have? And he said, Tina, you need to allow people to help you. Now, my immediate next thought, I didn't say it out loud, but my immediate next thought was no. And then I had to think back to where did that come from? The voice in my head of my mother telling me, Tina, don't you tell nobody our business outside this house. Although I didn't want to betray what my mom had always said, I also knew that my mental health was suffering, and I couldn't continue to go on the way that I was going. I soon learned that by giving a little bit of information about yourself to your friends is the first step to building your friends village. So let me ask a question. How many of you have ever had friends in the past, talented friends, that have offered to help you at some point or another, and your immediate response was, nah, I'm good, I got it? Anybody here? This is how you build your friends village. You use the talents of your friends. You don't misuse them, but you use the talents of your friends. You may have friends that love shopping or that love running errands, or you may have friends that love sitting at the computer doing research. If they offer to help you, let them help you. This will take some things off of your plate and let you and free up some time so that you can do some other things that you would like to do. So in addition to my family village and my friends village, my work village played a crucial role in my journey. Now, sharing personal details about yourself at work, that could be controversial. I understand that. But you can't expect your colleagues to understand what you're going through if you don't tell them anything. This is where the power of networking comes in. At work, consider joining an affinity group, an employee resource group, or a business resource group. If there isn't one, start one. That's what I did. I started an employee resource group that focused on employees that have both visible and invisible disabilities. These communities can help you. They can give you a sense of belonging and support and really help you navigate difficult times while you're on the job. Additionally, Seek out a mentor or a champion or a sponsor, someone that can help you stay on the right path to success. My family village, my friends village, and my work village, they changed my life. They taught me the power of immersing myself in community and the importance of accepting help from other people. So I ask that you do 3 things. 1, offer help to a friend. 2, accept help from a friend. And 3, offer grace and kindness to one another. So offering help to a friend, what does that look like? Well, you want to offer help that falls well within the scope of your strengths. It could be helping someone organize an event all the way to helping them organize their closet. It could be offering creative advice to a friend. Or it could be understanding your friend's financial constraints and offering them paid babysitting hours in lieu of birthday gifts or holiday gifts. That's how you offer help to a friend. And then accept help from a friend. If someone offers to help you, say yes. Let them help you. When you allow people to help you, you are unknowingly giving them the opportunity to make a positive impact in your life. Offering help and accepting help is not only a strength, it's an imperative. We as humans were wired for human connection, and so the two are not exclusive. And then offer grace and kindness to one another. No one knows what goes on behind closed doors. Nothing is perfect and nobody is perfect. We're all just trying to be better people today than we were yesterday. Everyone under the sound of my voice has the ability to be part of someone's village. Check in on those that you feel are strong. Oftentimes, they are the ones that need help the most. So I want to leave you with one question. What if all of the answers to your questions, your frustrations, your challenges lie in the hearts of those you are already connected to? Thank you for your time.